Hey, it's Anne-Marie with Speak Confident English, and welcome to this week's Confident English lesson. This is exactly where you want to be every week to get the confidence you want for your life and work in English. One of the things my students love to do is add new vocabulary to their everyday English, vocabulary that's easy for them to use in conversation. And it's even better when that vocabulary is a phrasal verb. Native speakers use phrasal verbs all the time, so it's important for you to understand them and know how to use them as well. In this lesson today, we're going to talk about the phrasal verb go out. What's interesting about this phrasal verb is that it has multiple different meanings. So in this lesson, you're going to learn how to use the phrasal verb go out in 7 different ways, and you'll know how to use it correctly. I'll give you examples as we go. Plus, at the end of this lesson, I've got 3 common idioms you can use with the words go out. All right, let's get started with our 7 meanings of the phrasal verb go out in English. Number 1, to go out can mean to be social or do social activities, or to go out of the home to enjoy something social. For example, I love going out with my friends on the weekend, or I love going out to a restaurant on Friday nights for dinner. Last weekend, we went out to a new pizza restaurant with our friends. In all of those examples, the phrasal verb go out means to go outside of the home and do something social. The second meaning of the phrasal verb go out is to go on a date or to be dating someone romantically. One common question that teenagers often ask or hear is, will you go out with me? What that means is, will you be my boyfriend or girlfriend? Will you date me? Another way to ask someone on a date is to say, will you go out to dinner with me? Or if you want to talk about 2 people who have been dating, you could say, Dave and Sarah have been going out for 2 years now. Number 3, to go out can mean to leave or exit a room or building. When children are young, you'll often hear them say, let's go out and play. Another example, you'll have to go out the back door. The front door is broken. Meaning number 4 of go out is to stop, to cease, or to fail to function. For example, if you have a big storm and a tree falls on your power lines, your electricity will go out. In other words, your electricity will fail to function. If you go camping with friends for the weekend, you might stay up late at night chatting until the fire goes out. Meaning number 5 is to no longer be fashionable, in style, or popular. For example, ripped jeans went out a few years ago. In other words, they stopped being stylish a few years ago. Can you think of anything that used to be fashionable or trendy, but after a few months or a few years, it went out? It went out of style. If you've got an example, share with me in the comments below. Meaning number 6 of the phrasal verb go out refers to the movement of water away from the land. For example, if you think about how water in the ocean or the sea moves away from the land. If you live close to the ocean, you probably know when the tide goes out every day. Or maybe you live somewhere where the tide goes out very quickly, so you have to be very careful when you're in the water. And finally, example number 7. In this example, the words go out go together with my heart. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've done several lessons on collocations. Collocations are groups of words that native speakers use together naturally. Let me give you an example first, and then we'll talk about the meaning. Right now, Sarah is spending all her free time taking care of her sick mom. My heart really goes out to her. That has to be so difficult. What do you think I meant in that example? My heart really goes out to her. That collocation is an expression of sympathy. It's a way for us to express that sympathy or compassion when someone else is going through a difficult or unfortunate time. All right, now that you've got 7 meanings of the phrasal verb go out in English, let's talk about 3 common idioms. Idiom number 1 is to go out of one's mind. To go out of one's mind. Here's an example of how we would use it. For the past 3 weeks, I've been working overtime and weekends at work. I'm going out of my mind. What do you think that means? If you're not sure, let's try another example first. Imagine one of your friends turns down or says no to an amazing job offer. Your response might be, "Are you out of your mind? Why did you say no?" So what do you think that means, to go out of one's mind? It means to feel crazy or irrational. Idiom number 2 is to go out on a limb for someone. To go out on a limb. Here's an example. I'm going out on a limb here, but I think I'm going to win the lottery. Or I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm willing to bet my entire paycheck that he'll win the game. What do you think that means? Let's look at that second example a little more closely. I'm willing to bet my entire paycheck that he will win the game. What will happen to me if he doesn't win the game? I will need to give my entire paycheck to someone. That's a pretty risky situation. To go out on a limb means to do something risky or dangerous. To be in a vulnerable situation without any support. And finally, our last idiom is to go out like a light. To go out like a light. Here's an example. He must have been so tired yesterday. He was out like a light. What do you think? It's something related to being tired. He must have been so tired yesterday. Last night, he was out like a light. To go out like a light means to go to sleep very quickly. I'm curious, are you the kind of person who goes out like a light? Or do you stay awake with your mind thinking and thinking and thinking about different things that happened during the day? Now that you have these 7 meanings of the phrasal verb go out and 3 new idioms, I want you to practice. I want you to share 2 or 3 sentences with me using the phrasal verb go out. And I want each sentence to use a different meaning. You can share your examples with me in the comments below this video. With that, thank you so much for joining me. If you found this lesson useful, be sure to let me know. You can do that in 3 simple ways. Number 1, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so you never miss one of my Confident English lessons. Number 2, you can share it with friends or colleagues on Facebook. And number 3, if you know someone who would love to advance their vocabulary in English, you can email this lesson directly. Have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time for your Confident English lesson.